2 years ago, when I watched Mr. Beast's interview, he was talking about the secrets of a YouTube algorithm. I thought he was some genius kid who had become a successful YouTuber. But when I did research, I realized that Jimmy Donaldson is a very ordinary kid like us, who, through his passion for learning and working 18 to 18 hours a day, became the most successful YouTuber in the world today. In this video, we will see the aspect of Mr. Beast's life that very few people know. At that time, he was struggling alone. Watch till the end, friends. This video will ignite the passion to achieve something in you. Our journey begins in 2013, when instead of sleep, self-doubt used to take over. It is 2 a.m., but Jimmy's eyes are wide open. He has been making videos on YouTube for a year, but the growth is almost zero. Even today's video got only 15 views. Jimmy says, "At that time, I fought self-doubt every night. I thought that after so much hard work, I am not going anywhere. Was I not made for YouTube?" After this, Jimmy did what we don't. He outworked his doubts. He started analyzing his weaknesses and fixing them. He stayed up late at night, replaying his videos, noting anything that seemed boring or stupid. One by one, he changed things. First thumbnails, then titles, then editing. Nothing changed in a single night, but gradually the videos began to perform better. After a year and a half of effort, he reached almost 8,000 subscribers. Friends, a channel of 8,000 may seem like small growth, but the real thing was that Jimmy had learned the habit of fixing his own weaknesses alone at a young age. Jimmy says, "I began to feel that if I keep at it every day, one day this will surely click." Most of us do the opposite. When something doesn't work or we fail, we avoid the pain of analyzing our mistakes. We don't face failure. If someone points out a mistake, our ego feels bad. But Jimmy learned at a very young age to turn mistakes into fuel for hard work. He learned to outwork self-doubt and negativity. Thus, the journey of Jimmy becoming Mr. Beast had begun. But then another obstacle came. 15-year-old Jimmy suddenly became sick. Along with his hands and feet, he had severe pain in his stomach. Doctors told him he had Crohn's disease, in which inflammation stays inside the intestines and food doesn't stay in the stomach. Jimmy had to go to the bathroom 10 to 15 times a day. His appetite decreased. In just a few days, Jimmy's weight was halved. He became so weak that he was on complete bed rest. He had to give up school, YouTube, and his favorite sport, baseball. Treatment continued for several weeks. Finally, a medicine showed effect. In 8 weeks, Jimmy's health began to improve. Friends, often in the most difficult times, we realize what matters most in our life. The same happened with Jimmy. He felt that although he couldn't do many things, what hurt him most was not making videos. Jimmy says, "At that time, I realized how much YouTube mattered to me." As soon as he recovered, Jimmy made a promise to himself. "I will go all in for my dreams." He put all the energy he had into YouTube. He would not run away from difficult and hardworking videos. From now on, YouTube was no longer a hobby, but a purpose. After this, Jimmy started making different types of videos and experimenting. Friends noticed that Jimmy was still not fully recovered. But Jimmy stopped complaining about fatigue, weakness, and how hard YouTube was. After going all in, he didn't make excuses from pain, but accepted the struggle. The result was that the channel grew from 8,000 to 300,000 subscribers. By this time, Jimmy had also finished high school. As soon as school ended, his mother made a condition: either go to college or leave the house. Out of necessity, Jimmy went to college, but left within 2 weeks, and his mother, keeping her word, kicked him out of the house. At this time, Jimmy was earning $100 to $200 a month from YouTube, around $250 per day. A friend gave him a room to stay. In that room, there was a mattress on the floor and a computer on a table. For some time, Jimmy survived only on bread and noodles. At this time, Jimmy's friends were either in college or working, and 17-year-old Jimmy sat alone in front of the computer. He was under a lot of pressure. His mind wondered, will I end up a loser and alone? At this time, was it luck or the result of relentless hard work? Jimmy says, "I found 4 crazies on an online forum. 3 were college dropouts, and 1 had quit a job. All had small channels, and all had the same passion to understand the YouTube algorithm. For the first time, Jimmy felt he was not alone in this fight. There were people like him who wanted to learn the science of going viral. After this began 1,000 days of hyper-study, studying every small detail of YouTube. Their day started with a Skype meeting at 7 a.m. Jimmy and the four crazies discussed trends, videos, and analytics. Pacing, lighting, editing, every detail mattered. The meeting ran from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. At night, Jimmy revised notes until 10 p.m. and implemented ideas. Every insight was immediately put into action. When thumbnails were discussed, Jimmy stayed awake 12 hours, took photos of many facial expressions, and tested them with different backgrounds to get the best effect. No second in the video was allowed where a viewer wanted to skip. This goal was applied in every video. After 1,000 days of madness, commitment, and extreme effort, in 2 years, he went from 300 subscribers to 5 million. Mr. Beast also made a video counting to 100,000, counting continuously for 40 hours, then editing it into a 24-hour video and posting it. This video went viral, and Jimmy's mantra became, outwork and outlearn. After 1,000 days, Jimmy understood. If you work the most and learn the most, you can turn nothing into something. But with success came pressure. Every video had to be better than the last. There was pressure from copycats. But Jimmy found a solution. Work at such a large scale that copying becomes nearly impossible. Jimmy's focus shifted from being number one to having a craftsman mindset, challenging himself with creativity and new ideas every time. Competing with others was no longer the goal. Competing with his past videos was. This mindset converts fear, anxiety, and pressure into inspiration, ideas, and motivation. Friends, take 3 things from this video. Go all in. Life is struggle. Sometimes you must do more than necessary. Jimmy didn't make excuses for fatigue and weakness, but accepted the struggle. Long-term obsession, passion. Keep learning every day, keep getting better. Work and learn the most, and turn nothing into something. Outwork failure and self-doubt. You can only erase self-doubt through determination and hard work. Keep working on your weaknesses, even a little, but keep improving. Soon, you will free yourself from weakness and complaints. If you want to make hard work an addiction, so your brain automatically does difficult tasks, watch the dopamine detox video. Remember, no video, app, or news is more valuable than your time. I will keep bringing stories of work, courage, action, intelligence. We will win. Have you ever noticed that whenever discipline or extreme hard work is mentioned, the mind immediately throws out the names of a few specific people? Cristiano Ronaldo, David Goggins, or some other extreme level individual. And then we tell ourselves, this is only for people like them. Normal people like us can't become that disciplined. So much control isn't possible in our lives. And that's it. With this single thought, 90% of people never even seriously try to bring discipline into their lives. So what is the truth? The truth is that discipline is not a special DNA. Discipline is not a superpower. And discipline does not come from willpower alone either. Discipline is actually the result of design. How you design your life, discipline emerges from there. In today's video, we will understand 5 principles which, if you apply them daily, you will not have to force yourself to be disciplined. Discipline will start becoming automatic. Salute to those who defeat themselves. Principle number 1. Discipline is not built from decisions. It is built from systems. Most people make this mistake. They turn discipline into a daily decision. I'll wake up early and study tomorrow. I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I'll use my phone less tomorrow. The problem is that making decisions requires energy, and energy is limited. That's why people who depend only on decisions get tired after a few days. High performers are different because they make fewer decisions and build more systems. What does system mean? A setup where thinking is minimal and action is maximum. Example: if every day you are thinking, should I study today or not, then you are already losing. But if the rule is, at 7 a.m., I must sit at the table whether I study or not. The decision is finished. The mind gets clarity. Remember this. The mind gets tired from uncertainty, not from routine. Principle number 2. Biology is not your enemy. It is your secret weapon. We often blame our body and mind. I feel lazy. My mood isn't right. My focus is weak. But the real truth is that the brain's job is to keep us safe, not to make us productive. The brain naturally wants a less effort, a less pain, more comfort. If you try to fight this biology directly, you will lose. Smart people use biology instead. How? Through triggers. The human brain runs many things on automatic mode. Seeing a toothbrush makes the hand move automatically. Hearing the call to prayer changes the emotional state. When the alarm rings, the eyes open. You can create the same triggers for yourself. Example: a specific playlist only for work. A specific place only for studying. A fixed time only for deep work. After a few days, the moment that music plays, the brain says, okay, work is about to start now. Discipline does not come from willpower. It comes from conditioning. Principle number 3. As long as there is an escape, discipline will not come. Listen to a bitter truth. A human being never puts in full effort. As long as there is a backup option. If I fail this exam, I'll do something else. If I don't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. If this doesn't work out, there's another path. All these thoughts make us mentally weak. That's why top people in the world don't use willpower everywhere in their lives. They reduce options instead. This is called creating a forcing environment. An environment where doing the wrong thing becomes difficult. Example: phone not allowed in the study room at all. Social media apps password protected. TV only a fixed time in the evening. When the wrong option becomes difficult and the right option becomes easy, discipline is created naturally. The problem is not that you are weak. The problem is that your life is too comfortable. Principle number 4. The brain does not take the future seriously. Understand something very interesting. When you think about your future success, a good career, a strong body, a successful life, the brain treats it like a distant dream. That's why the reward of working hard today does not feel real to it. But if there is pain today, the brain reacts immediately. That's why a powerful method of discipline is this: bring future loss into the present. How? Through penalties. Example: if today's work is not done. Financial loss. Having to report to someone. Losing a privilege. When the brain knows, if I don't do it today, I'll suffer today, procrastination decreases. And one simple trick: if you don't feel like working, give yourself only 2 options. Either work or do absolutely nothing. No phone, no music, no sleeping, just silence. Within 5 to 10 minutes, the brain itself says, it's better to work than this. Principle number 5. What you repeat daily is what you become. People say, I am naturally distracted. I'm not the disciplined type. This is a lie. You are not naturally anything. You are trained. If you check your phone every 5 minutes, you have trained your brain for distraction. But the good news is this: the brain is extremely flexible. You can train it again. Focus on just 3 things. Single tasking, doing only one task at a time. Distraction delay, waiting 60 seconds before picking up the phone. Focus blocks, 10 to 40 minutes of nonstop work. The brain cannot differentiate between repetition and reality. What you do every day becomes your identity. Final message: discipline is not magic created by motivation. Discipline is not the result of an emotional speech. Discipline is the result of a well-designed life. If you correctly design your routines, environment, and systems, discipline will follow naturally. And remember, your time, your energy, and your focus are more valuable than any app, video, or news in the world. I will keep bringing practical truths. Courage, action, intelligence. We will win. You enter a room. The moment you step inside, a strong, bad smell hits you. You notice that the trash bin is completely full, and garbage is spilling out. You stop for a moment. You feel a strange sense of disgust inside. Then you quietly walk out of the room. thinking how any human being could live in such filth, when in reality, all that needed to be done was to clean the dustbin. Exactly the same thing, exactly the same mistake you are making with your life. Years of old guilt, memories of failures, old habits, and negative thinking. You keep collecting everything inside, and then you ask, why am I stuck? Why is nothing changing? The answer is very clear. You have adjusted to a negative mind. You have compromised with laziness. You are stuck because you have become soft. You have stopped making hard choices. But understand one thing. You are not alone. Many people get stuck at this stage of life, a place where they cannot go back and cannot move forward. That is why in today's video, we will see how, by making 5 hard choices, you can put your stuck life back into motion and make a better beginning. Hard choice number 1, accept life as it is. The very first hard choice is accept life as it is. Accept a life full of struggle. This sounds very easy to hear, but the entire story changes from here. To understand this, listen to the most important story from David Goggins' life. David Goggins' story. At the age of 24, David Goggins worked night shifts in pest control. His shift was from 12 at night to 7 in the morning. All night long, he sprayed pesticides, and by morning, cleaned dead rats and cockroaches. During the day, he ate junk food and slept in front of the TV. That was his entire life. Inner struggle. At that time, David was trying to suppress his pain. Deep inside, he hated himself because 2 years earlier, he had quit his dream just because of his fear of water. He dropped out of Air Force pararescue training. Turning point. Then one night, life slapped him hard. David was cleaning a storage room. The moment he moved a shelf, an entire cockroach colony fell on him. Cockroaches went inside his shirt. Some started crawling on his neck. David froze. He felt extreme disgust. He left everything, went outside, and sat down, self-questioning. A question echoed in his mind. I was once a top Air Force recruit. I had dreams. But what am I doing today? How'd I fall so far behind from the inside? The answer came immediately. Because you always ran away. You never faced your weaknesses. You always chose the easy path. Acceptance moment. David says, at that moment it felt like life slapped me hard. At that moment I understood that my situation was not caused by my childhood, my education, or any other person. I was responsible. Now I will face reality. And from there, David Goggins' life started to change. Apply to your life. If you're stuck in life, your first hard choice is also this. Accept your life as it is. Because what you cannot accept, you cannot change. Look at your life honestly. Marks are low. The body is heavy. Focus is weak. Accepting this is not weakness. This is the beginning. Hard choice number 2. Do not chase pleasure to escape pain. After accepting struggle, the next hard choice comes. Do not chase pleasure to escape pain. When life is stressful, the future is unclear. Old thoughts disturb you. The brain wants only one thing: distraction. That's why people turn to junk food, porn, web series, smoking. It feels good for a short time, but when the pleasure ends, stress comes back 4 times stronger. Pain cannot be replaced with cheap pleasure. Hard choice number 3. Always choose growth over comfort. Parents often want their children to have everything perfect. This creates a false belief that life should always be easy. The reality is, struggles never end. Great people turn struggle into growth. Hard choice number 4. Show up when everything is uncertain. Average people just want to finish tasks. Masters want to become better. Virat Kohli says, I don't work on the game, I work on myself. So make a decision, whether the mood is there or not. I will show up every day. Hard choice number 5. Turn others' success into positive energy. When you see someone successful and say, it's just their luck, you start losing faith in your own effort. Behind every success, there is struggle. If it's possible for them, it's possible for me too. Summary: 5 hard choices. Accept life as it is. Do not chase pleasure to escape pain. Choose growth over comfort. Show up no matter what. Use others' success as motivation, not jealousy. Remember, life does not change in one day, but the direction of life can change with one decision. If today you made even one hard choice, you are already ahead of 90% of people. Your time is valuable. Your energy is valuable. Your focus is valuable. Do not waste them on videos, apps, and distractions. I will keep bringing real lessons. You just start making hard choices. Courage, action, awareness. We will win. Have you ever felt that your mind keeps running all day, yet you still feel exhausted? Have you ever noticed that the same thought keeps coming back again and again? And no matter how hard you try, you can't get out of it? Psychologists say that your brain is a meaning-making machine. This means that whatever happens around you, you cannot stop yourself from assigning meaning to it. Whether it is a small incident, a single word, or someone's behavior, your brain immediately creates some kind of meaning out of it. And this process is actually very creative because through it, you continuously turn experiences into learning. Your brain wants to learn so that in the future, you can make faster and better decisions. To understand this, let's look at a very simple example. Today, when you're on the road and you see a red traffic light, you stop immediately without thinking too much. You don't do this because you're making a fresh decision every day, but because your brain has already learned that red light means stop. From experiences of accidents, fear of police fines, and seeing others get harmed, your brain reaches one conclusion: that stopping is the safer option. If this learning process did not exist, you would have to stand on the road every time and recall past experiences again and again. And every decision in life would become very slow and very difficult. But hidden inside this entire process is one very big problem. And that problem is that most of the time, we're not really thinking at all. So the question arises, what does real thinking actually mean? Real thinking does not mean that you're thinking more. Real thinking means that you are aware of the assumptions on which your thoughts are based. Imagine that you walk into a library. There are many books placed there. You pick up one book and notice that it is 250 years old. Later, someone asks you, "How was the library?" And you reply, "It's fine, but it contains 250-year-old books." In that one sentence, you unknowingly created a very big assumption. You assumed that all the books in the library were printed at the same time, whereas in reality, only one book was old, and the rest could have been completely new. In the same way, when we are not aware of our assumptions, even correct information turns into wrong thinking and useless knowledge. Now from here, it is important to understand one more thing. Our brain is naturally programmed to remember negative experiences and mistakes more strongly. The reason is simple, so that we do not repeat the same mistakes again. That is why accidents, failures, and embarrassing moments are felt with greater intensity and remembered for a longer time. This is not a weakness. It is a survival system. But when we are not conscious of our thoughts and assumptions, this same system starts working against us. Negative thoughts keep repeating, and slowly, they begin to dominate our thinking. Then we get trapped in one thought after another, one worry after another, inside an endless loop. This is where people often ask, everything makes sense, but when we are trapped in this maze of thinking, how do we get out of it? The answer comes from acceptance and commitment therapy, where through mindfulness, people are taught how to manage their thoughts. One powerful concept in this therapy is called cognitive defusion. It is very important to understand the two parts of cognitive defusion. The first part is acceptance. Acceptance does not mean that you agree with your negative thoughts. It simply means that you acknowledge that these thoughts exist at this moment. When we are overthinking, it feels like many thoughts are attacking us at the same time. But if you observe carefully, you will realize that two thoughts never occur at the same time. Thoughts always come in sequence, and most of the time, there are only about 10 to 12 basic thoughts that keep changing their form and disturbing us again and again. So how do these thoughts stay alive? The answer is very simple. As long as we keep reacting to them, they continue to multiply. Try to control them, trying to stop them, or trying to forcefully eliminate them. All of this is also a reaction. That is why the way to end negative thoughts is not to fight them, but to stop reacting to them. Acceptance also means understanding that these thoughts are like shadows. They are neither good nor bad, and they do not have any permanent meaning. The second part is detachment. Detachment means telling yourself, these thoughts are coming on their own, and they will leave on their own. I am simply watching them from a distance. The best way to understand acceptance and detachment is through metaphors. The first metaphor, the sky and the clouds. Your awareness is the sky, and your thoughts are clouds. Clouds come. They rain, and then they pass away, but they can never touch the sky. In the same way, thoughts come and go, but they cannot damage your true awareness. The second metaphor, a river stream. Your thoughts are like a flowing river. No matter how powerful a thought feels, it is not permanent unless we react to it. The third metaphor, a highway. Your mind is a highway, and thoughts are taxis. Some taxis make noise. Some honk unnecessarily. But unless you signal them to stop, they do not engage with you. Then comes the metaphor of the bus driver and the passengers. You are the driver, and your awareness is the bus. Thoughts board the bus, like passengers, without any invitation. There is noise, but you keep driving. At every stop, the passengers slowly get off. And the final exercise, the fire metaphor. Write down your thoughts, recognize them, and then burn the paper. Fire is a symbol of transformation. It sends a clear message to the brain. That negativity has been released. Now let's talk about the ending. The summary is this. Your brain is not your enemy. It is built to learn, and it is built to protect you. But when awareness is missing, the same brain turns into a web of overthinking. You do not need to fight your thoughts. You only need to observe them. Remember this. No thought has enough power to touch the infinite sky. If this video was helpful to you, create a playlist and name it 49.99 and save this video in it. Whenever you feel that you are about to get trapped again in negative thinking, remember this playlist. And remember, your time is extremely valuable. No video, no up, no news is more important than your time. I will continue to bring, not dependency, but courage, wisdom, and reality-based conversations. Because the one who learns does not stop, and the one who does not stop wins. We will win. You've been reading the same line for 2 minutes, but nothing is sticking. You went to the market to buy a few things and came back forgetting half of them. Then a thought hits you. Man, there was a time when my brain was sharp. So why does it feel so slow now? The truth is, the problem isn't in your brain. The problem is on your plate. The world already knows that sugar makes you gain weight and harms your skin. But very few students and young adults realize that sugar is silently destroying your memory focus and overall brain capacity. It works quietly without causing obvious pain, but the damage is real. In this video, we'll explore how cutting back or controlling sugar can dramatically boost your brain performance, sharpen your focus, and help you reclaim your mental clarity. Let's look at the research. A study was conducted on 52 students, divided into 3 groups. The first group was given a high-sugar breakfast, like sweetened cereals, juice, or white bread with jam. The second group got a low-sugar breakfast, rich in protein and fiber. The third group was kept fasting. 2 hours later, all groups were tested on the same cognitive tasks. The results were shocking. The students who ate the high-sugar breakfast responded slower, and their accuracy, meaning the percentage of correct answers, dropped by almost 30%. Surprisingly, the high-sugar group performed even slower than the students who had eaten nothing at all. This doesn't mean these students were unintelligent. They felt like, I'm slow, I can't answer fast. But the real problem wasn't their brains. It was their breakfast. Here's another shocking fact you need to know. Sugar isn't just slowing your brain. It's literally shrinking parts of it. This is where BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, comes in. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain cells. Just like plants won't grow without proper nutrients, your brain cells won't grow without BDNF. And without it, even existing cells cannot repair themselves properly. The more sugar you consume, the lower your BDNF and the slower your brain grows. Neurology Journal research shows that even people without diabetes, but with slightly high normal blood sugar levels, experience 6% to 10% shrinkage in the hippocampus. That's not a minor part of the brain. The hippocampus is your memory center, where short-term memory forms and new information gets connected and stored. So even a little excess sugar is killing your brain cells silently. Fewer cells mean fewer neural connections, making it harder to learn and remember new things. By now, you're probably thinking, okay, sugar harms memory. But that's just the beginning. Sugar doesn't just affect memory, it affects your mood and sleep as well. Sugar and mood swings. Every time you eat something sweet, your blood sugar spikes. After the spike, it crashes. Your body interprets this crash as an emergency, releasing stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. The result? Irritation over small things, racing thoughts, sudden anxiety, and you feel emotionally weak. But in reality, it's your hormones in chaos, all triggered by sugar. Sugar and sleep. Few people realize that poor sleep can also be linked to sugar. Frequent sugar intake disrupts the balance between melatonin, sleep hormone, and cortisol, stress hormone. The result? Restless nights, light sleep, and waking up tired. No matter how much time you spend studying, your focus will suffer. On the other hand, people who cut out sugar completely notice better sleep quality, deeper rest, and a sharp, clear mind every morning. So how do you start cutting sugar? The first step is understanding that packaged food isn't food, it's packaged disease. Companies make snacks addictive to maximize profit, triggering dopamine release the moment you see the packet. Even if it says no added sugar, the ingredients are often sugar under different names. Maltodextrin, high fructose corn syrup, or dextrose. If you see these on a label, it's better to throw the product away. Practical tips to reduce sugar. 7-day approach, gradually reduce sugar. Start by cutting it in half for the first 3 days, then aim for 0. Fiber first. If you're eating sweets or refined carbs, eat fiber first, then protein, then carbs. Lemon juice trick. 1 to 2 teaspoons of lemon juice with meals reduces sugar spikes. Natural replacements. Add cinnamon and cardamom to your coffee or tea. It tastes good and stabilizes sugar. Healthy snacks. Roasted chickpeas, macana, sprouts, salad, paneer, and fruits. Fiber in fruits slows sugar absorption. Cutting sugar is not just a diet change. It's a deep lifestyle reset. It rewires your hormones and your brain. 21-day sugar-free plan. Day 1, the crash, low energy, mild headache. Day 3, the anger, irritability from dopamine withdrawal. This is your brain rewiring. Day 7, clean up. Body starts functioning healthier, liver fat reduces, digestion improves. Day 21, upgrade. Brain fog disappears, memory improves, focus sharpens, mood stabilizes. So start today. Cut sugar gradually over 3 days, then eliminate it completely. Stay away from packaged foods and trickster companies. Remember, your time is more valuable than any app, video, or news feed. I'll keep bringing you the most actionable, science-backed tips. Courage, action, intelligence. We will win. Jimmy sat down to do some important work. He thought, today, I'll finish so much work in 2 hours that I won't have to worry about anything afterward. The phone is out of reach. The table is clean. Distractions are 0. Yet, work isn't moving forward. Why? In the middle of studying, he suddenly remembers something. Months ago, a friend had mocked him. Hey, don't stress so much. Not everyone gets selected. That one memory switched something in his brain. And just like that, Jimmy drifted into another world. In this daydream, he had already succeeded. That same friend was standing in front of him. And Jimmy got out of a big car, confident and victorious. a taste of success, the calm of ego satisfied, and a flood of dopamine in his brain. Then the door creaks open. Jimmy snaps back to reality. He checks the clock. 30 minutes have passed. And the work? Nothing. This, my friends, is daydreaming. And it releases so much dopamine that now Jimmy has no motivation to continue working. He has already gotten up from his seat. And the truth is, this happens to thousands of people every day, 2 or 3 times a day, without even realizing how much valuable time they are wasting and how far they are drifting from reality. The biggest problem with daydreaming is that you don't notice it immediately. You are just studying, and suddenly you think, let me take a short break. But the break isn't 10 minutes. It turns into an hour, and sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours, or even more. By the time you realize, your work is incomplete, your mood is disturbed, and guilt has grown so much that focusing on your studies becomes almost impossible. Research and facts. A research study in a college in Tamil Nadu revealed some shocking findings. 30% of students daydream less than 1 hour a day. 70% of students waste at least 1 hour a day in daydreaming. 35% of students spend more than 2 hours in daydreaming. 14% of students spend more than 4 hours every day lost in their fantasies. Think about it. Almost a quarter to half of the day is going into thoughts and imaginary scenarios. And the worst part? You only realize the damage long after it's done. 3 stages of daydreaming. Stage 1, mild escape. Happens when you are alone. 15 to 45 minutes wasted. Small decisions become confusing. Work starts remaining incomplete. Stage 2, dopamine trap. You slip into another world even while talking or working. 1 to 2.5 hours lost every day. Mood swings and guilt increase. You constantly replay scenes in your mind. If I wanted, I could have done this. If this is happening to you, you're in stage 2. Stage 3, maladaptive daydreaming. You can't start work at all. Wander around alone in your room, lost in a fantasy world. 3 to 4 hours vanish every day. Your personality in dreams is completely different from real life. You get confused between reality and imagination. Social anxiety increases. Emotions become hard to control. Friends, comment below and let me know which stage you are in and what your experience has been. Root cause. Why our brain does this. One-line answer. The brain escape mechanism. Your brain is trying to protect you from negative experiences. If a bear appeared in front of you, your brain would yell, "Danger! Danger!" Your heart would race. Adrenaline would surge, and you would run away. The same goes for studying, work, or fear of failure. Your brain perceives it as a threat, and it says, let's escape to dreams where it feels safe. The problem isn't that the brain is protecting you. The problem is that the method is wrong. The strong Awara Bikari example. Daydreaming thoughts are like stray beggars. The first time they appear, you notice them. The second time, you give attention. The third time, they grow stronger. Paying attention equals feeding them. The more attention you give, the stronger the thought becomes, and the more it pulls you into your fantasy world. Principles to break daydreaming. Keycap 1. Don't react. A thought appears, just observe it. Don't fight it. Don't suppress it. No reaction equals no fuel. Keycap 2. Write and observe. Write down your thoughts. You will start seeing patterns. Awareness equals cure. Keycap 3. Pattern break question. Ask yourself, what will my next thought be? The longer you watch, the slower the thoughts become. Keycap 4. Daily meditation, 10 minutes. Sit in reality for 10 minutes every day. Your brain starts rewiring itself. Gradually, you become more aware and mentally strong. Chinese girl example, deep story. There was a Chinese girl. From childhood, her parents constantly compared her with others. How smart she is. Why aren't you like her? The fear of failure took root early. When she went to hostel alone, the situation got worse. Whenever she struggled with studying, her negative feelings intensified, and she drifted into a fantasy world, trying to prove herself to her parents. After failing for 2 years, she realized it had become a habit. Daydreaming is a coping mechanism. The brain doesn't solve negative feelings, it just replaces them. Examples of coping. Trouble making eye contact? Unlock your phone. Too much stress? Smoke or distract yourself. The problem doesn't get solved. You become weaker. The solution? Learn to face reality. Reality face example, Bikari story. Every evening, you walk home. One day, A stray beggar sits in the alley. Day 1, you give $10. Day 2, you give $10. Day 3, the beggar follows you. If you pay attention, the thought grows stronger. The solution: ignore him. No relation equals no response. Internet advice says, stop thinking. That doesn't work. Tools to break daydreaming. Don't react. Write and observe thought patterns. Speak out loud. These are just old memories, now useless. Ask, what will my next thought be? Meditate 10 minutes daily. Awareness plus consistent action equals freedom from daydreaming. Summary and takeaway. Face difficulties. Learn to face negative feelings. Reduce procrastination. Swami Vivekananda. Those who show their back never find peace. Understand your choices. Don't react to every thought. Journal, observe, meditate. As kids, we were told, milk is a complete food. But today, top athletes like Virat Kohli are leaving dairy products. Solution: science plus reality check. Value your time. No video, app, or news is more valuable than your time. I will keep bringing stories of work, discipline, and success. Courage, action, wisdom. We will win. Think about it. If playing with fire means getting burned instantly, then you are playing with dopamine every single day, and you don't even realize that slowly, little by little, you are burning your focus, your memory, and your future. Dopamine is such a powerful chemical that the moment it is released from the wrong source, the thinking part of your brain shuts down. And the truth is, in today's world, cheap dopamine is everywhere. Phone, reels, short videos, porn, junk food, fake motivation. That's why this is not just a problem of changing habits. This is a war to save your brain. This is a battle for your focus, your deep work, and your future. In this video, we will look at the 3 stages of dopamine detox and a proven framework that will not only make you disciplined, but will teach you to fall in love with deep work. Part 1. The real power of dopamine. We have all heard since childhood, son, stay away from fire. Fire is very powerful. But no one ever told us that dopamine is no less powerful than fire. The only difference is that fire burns the body, while dopamine slowly takes control of the brain. The moment dopamine is released, your brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making, focus, and logic, temporarily shuts off, which means at that moment, you are not thinking logically. You are only following urges. This means that if you are getting dopamine from the wrong sources, loss of focus is guaranteed. And the biggest lie of today is, I'm just relaxing. No, you are not relaxing. You are training your brain to choose escape instead of effort. Part 2. Phase 1. Stabilization. Stop the bleeding. The very first phase is stabilization. Stop the bleeding. This means, first stop the damage, then build strength. The truth is, when you start, the first few days are the hardest. You feel like your focus is completely gone. Why? Because your dopamine receptors are already overused and damaged. Biologically, your brain is not yet ready for intense focus. That's why the first goal is not productivity. The first goal is damage control. Rule 1. Channel morning dopamine into work. After a good night's sleep, your dopamine baseline in the morning is at its best. This is the time when you can feel naturally motivated, without any external push. But if you pick up your phone in the morning, watch reels or scroll, you waste your entire energy on distraction. Then all day long you keep saying, I just can't focus. That's why every morning, attack the hardest task first. If you don't, that same energy will later turn into anxiety, fear, and overthinking. Rule 2. Volume over quality. At this stage, your focus will not be perfect, and that is completely normal. The goal right now is not to work continuously for 3 to 4 hours. The goal is to learn how to sit back down after giving up. Think of it as teaching your brain focus again, like training a small child. Just track this. How many times did I sit at the table today? Even if it was only for 20 minutes. Every time you choose hard work over easy pleasure, you are not just working, you are changing your identity. Set a target. At least 10 sessions times 20 minutes every day. Rule 3. Go versus no-go list. Most people don't fail because they lack willpower. They fail because they lack clear rules. Where there is no clarity, old habits create their own path. That's why before starting work, write a go and no-go list. No-go means
Today I will not do anything. That goes against my future. When clarity exists, focus does not leak. And when focus does not leak, deep work becomes possible. Part 3. Phase 2. Sustain the focus. Now we learn to make focus not temporary, but stable. This phase teaches you how to bring your mind back when it starts running away. Tool 1. Mini Trodak Focus Drill. Science says mental focus follows visual focus. Where your eyes stay, your mind stays. Before starting work, for just 60 seconds, stare at a single dot or letter. This calms the brain, even before studying begins, and makes entering flow state easier. Tool 2. 5-second launch. Procrastination is mental negotiation. So when delay appears, do not negotiate with your mind. Just breathe in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And take action with go. This one technique can save you thousands of times. Tool 3. Walk backwards. Overthinking means alertness has dropped. The moment daydreaming starts, stand up from your chair and walk backwards for 2 minutes. The brain perceives this movement as danger and instantly activates survival circuits. Overthinking breaks and focus resets. Tool 4. NSDR Quick Reset. Scrolling is not rest. It only adds more stimulation. NSDR, or Yoga Nidra, resets your nervous system. Just 20 minutes of NSDR mentally prepares you again for deep work. Part 4. Phase 3. Attitude Shift. This is the most powerful phase, because when attitude changes, struggle does not remain permanent. Shift 1. Drop expectations. Expectation creates dopamine spikes, and every spike is followed by a crash. When you stop seeking pleasure from small things, your brain slowly learns to enjoy effort itself. This is real freedom. Shift 2. Don't celebrate the end. If your brain learns that work equals pain and the end equals pleasure, work will always feel heavy. Top performers turn the process itself into the reward. When pain appears, tell yourself, this is progress. Final truth and ending. Neuroscience says that resetting dopamine baseline takes at least 30 days. So if you fall in between, don't label yourself a failure. This struggle is part of the process. Remember, cheap pleasure comes with an expensive punishment. This is a war of attention, and the one who wins their focus wins their life. Get up, attack again, and remember, courage, action, awareness. We will win.
On one side, there is dopamine stimulation. On the other side, there is boredom. On one side, there is pleasure. On the other side, there is effort. The brain has forgotten how to choose correctly, and because of that, you keep delaying important work all day. Now think about this. What if your brain started feeling the same excitement in hard work that it feels while scrolling reels? How far could you go? In today's video, we will learn how to attach dopamine to effort and turn boredom into deep work. The first question, why does important work, the work we start with full intention, suddenly begin to feel boring? A strange calculation. At that moment, your brain is running a simple equation. How much effort is required? And how much pleasure is guaranteed? High effort, uncertain reward. The brain says, stop immediately. Low effort, guaranteed pleasure. The brain says, start now. This equation is what creates boredom. What is boredom? Boredom is a prediction error. You expected something, but reality didn't match that expectation. Your brain expects that what you're about to study or work on will be understood quickly and rewarded fast. When that doesn't happen, restlessness appears. An inner voice says, let's do something else so we can feel good. That restlessness is what we call boredom. Don't hate boredom. Cal Newport, in his book Digital Minimalism, says, boredom is the default state of the human mind. Boredom is not your fault. It's not a defect. It's the price of entry into deep work. And when you pay that price again and again, deep work becomes a habit, and effort itself starts to feel rewarding. But there are two big challenges. Challenge number 1. We are more bored than ever. We believe dopamine creates happiness. In reality, dopamine is the I want more chemical. It makes you chase pleasure, then leaves you empty. That's why after hours of entertaining reels, you still don't feel fulfilled. Today, everything gives dopamine hits. So many options, so much stimulation, that the brain constantly wants something new. Because of these easy dopamine hits, The brain reduces dopamine receptors. The result? Not just hard tasks. Even normal tasks start to feel boring. You are not lazy. Your focus is not broken. Your dopamine tolerance is too high. That's why even small effort feels painful. Challenge number 2. You don't know what to do when boredom hits. Look at paratrooper training. They rehearse every scenario repeatedly. So during the real jump, thinking is no longer required. The brain automatically performs. Boredom is like unexpected stress. Your brain must be trained to respond correctly. And for that, you need 5 techniques to convert distraction into deep work. Technique 1. Brain preparation, dopamine detox. Detox is a misleading word. You're not removing dopamine. You're stopping it from being wasted on cheap sources. Start by identifying your top 5 dopamine sources. Eliminate them for 3, 7, or 14 days, especially during the first 5 hours of the morning, the last 2 hours before sleep. Your brain naturally drifts toward easy rewards. That's not a flaw, it's a feature. But if you consume dopamine before sleep, your brain won't fully recover by morning. Replacement is mandatory. Nature hates a vacuum. Don't just remove, replace. Scrolling physical books, videos exercise, music and podcasts walking, news gratitude journaling. Get all possible help. Willpower exists, but an addicted brain needs support. Use website blockers. Use app lockers. Lock your phone in a cupboard. Give the key to your parents. Do whatever it takes, but stay away from cheap dopamine for 3, 7, or 14 days. Change your circle for 10 days. Your environment sets your dopamine baseline. If your friends are addicted to social media or gaming, that behavior feels normal. Even if you don't join, you'll feel like you're missing out. Either distance yourself or stay with people who are detoxing with you, turning boredom into deep work. Technique 1. Set rules and face irritation. Create simple rules until the timer rings or 3 pages are complete. I won't look away. Your emotional brain will say, check notifications. Your logical brain must say, goal first. Irritation will appear. That irritation is not weakness. It's rewiring. Each time logic wins, your brain improves. Technique 2. Make solitude attractive. Look at deep work booths in Japan. Sit quietly for 10 minutes. Enter the zone. Then work for 40 to 50 minutes in flow. Change locations after finishing work. A new corner. A library. A balcony. Novelty combined with solitude attracts dopamine. Technique 3. Reduce cognitive load. Keep only essentials on the table. Play instrumental music. Keep the phone silent and out of reach. New environment plus focus plus minimal disturbance creates deep work. Technique 4. Use controlled stress. Stress will appear during work. Fast heartbeat. Urge to escape. Reframe stress as a challenge. Control 3 things. Clear goals. Simple plans. Simple actions. This type of stress leads to flow. That's why performers like Virat Kohli play better under pressure. Chronic stress is harmful. Controlled stress is powerful. Technique 5. Use breaks correctly. The brain grows during breaks. Deep sleep. Nature walks. Deep breathing. Real effort demands real recovery. Push. Rest. Push again. This builds the ability to choose effort. What will change? Boredom rules will reset. Slow progress will feel satisfying. Discipline becomes default. The brain buys tickets to hard work. Performance improves. Ideas become clearer. Decisions get sharper. Energy stabilizes. 7-day action plan. Don't hate boredom. Replace cheap pleasure with dopamine from hard work. That's where real happiness lies. And remember, your time is priceless. No video, app, or news is more valuable than your life. I will keep bringing stories of real work, courage, action, intelligence. We will win.
Some people operate at a level of consistency that makes everyone else pause and think, this person can't be normal. How can someone show up every single day and still work this hard? How can someone keep going when others quit after 2 or 3 days? The truth is simple. The top 1% don't have a normal mindset, and that's exactly why they can push themselves daily. Today we're going to talk about 7 mindset shifts, small mental changes that quietly train you to stay consistent. The first principle is replace intensity with strategy. Virat Kohli's coach says that his intensity in the gym is so high it feels like he might break the place. But Virat explains something deeper. People get impressed by intensity. Anyone can go extreme for 2 or 3 days. That's not real strength. Real strength is turning the boredom of consistency into discipline. That's where the secret hides. A study once divided students into 2 groups. Group A believed in last-minute intensity, 16 to 20-hour study marathons before exams. The second group followed strategy and discipline. The result was clear. The intense group struggled to stay consistent because they relied on urgency and emotions. The strategic group used time smartly, took proper breaks, and focused on planned output. They enjoyed the process and stayed motivated from within. So consistency doesn't come from long hours, it comes from structure and discipline. Before exams, students get emotional and suddenly design 14-hour routines. But when you plan 14 hours, your brain relaxes and says, "There's plenty of time, I'll do it later." Instead, make it 7 hours. If that feels heavy, start with 5. Fix clear timings, add breaks, and define outcomes for each session. When your brain sees progress in less time, it wants to do more. Consistency starts building automatically. The second mindset shift is create 4 recovery points in your day. Imagine you're driving on a highway and one tire gets punctured. Would you step out and puncture the other 3 too? Of course not. You fix the tire and keep moving. But most people treat their day the opposite way. If the first 3 hours go bad, they think, "Forget it, today's ruined," and waste the next 10 hours too. This is called the what the hell effect. One mistake creates guilt, and guilt pushes you toward distractions. High performers don't see the day as one 24-hour block. They divide it into 4 quarters. Each quarter is a fresh start. You should do the same. Break your waking hours into 4 parts and assign each a purpose. If you lose the first quarter, it doesn't mean the whole day is lost. Don't let guilt control you. Win the next one. Even if you win 2 out of 4, you're still ahead. Give yourself multiple chances to recover. That's how consistency survives. The third shift is reduce expectations to 0. The founder of NVIDIA says that expecting quick success kills consistency. It stops you from even trying. When they were building the company, they faced failures again and again. At one point, they were almost bankrupt despite working hard. So they did something powerful. They dropped all expectations. 0 expectations meant they could show up every day and keep working without emotional pressure. He tells students that greatness doesn't come from intelligence alone. It comes from character. And character is built through pain. So be ready for struggle. Stop obsessing over results. Just focus on doing what matters today. When expectations drop, consistency rises. The next shift is starting is winning. We often say, "Today I must finish 3 chapters," or "I must complete everything." Big targets create pressure, and when something feels too big, the brain delays starting. Terry Fox found a brilliant solution to this. Years ago, Terry lost one leg to cancer. Yet he decided to run across Canada, over 5,000 kilometers. Running daily with an artificial leg was extremely painful. When reporters asked how he managed such a huge journey, he said something simple. He never thought about the entire distance. He only focused on reaching the next electric pole. Once he reached it, he focused on the next start. He never looked at the finish line. He just kept restarting. That's the lesson. We stare at the finish and forget to begin. Shrink the target. Don't say, "I'll study 50 pages." Break it into parts. After each break, tell yourself, "In 5 minutes, I start again." Don't celebrate finishing. Celebrate restarting. You'll stay far more consistent. The next mindset is see discomfort as learning. Many people expect a smooth flow state while learning. That's the mistake. Flow and learning are different states. Flow happens when you practice existing skills. Learning happens when you struggle. When you get stuck or make mistakes, your brain sends an alarm saying new information is coming. That alarm feels like frustration, but that's exactly when growth happens. Most people think, I'm stuck, maybe I'm bad at this, and they quit. Next time you feel irritation while working, don't stop. Remind yourself, this frustration is proof you're leveling up. Your brain is adapting. Change your mindset and you'll last longer. The next shift is focus on small wins to multiply consistency. We usually focus too much on weaknesses, but experts say only 25% of your focus should go there. The other 75% should go to small victories. Small wins create a snowball effect. Imagine a small snowball rolling downhill. As it moves, it gathers more snow and grows bigger and faster. That's exactly how momentum works. One small win gives motivation for the next. 2 wins make the third easier. Slowly, your confidence grows, and suddenly you have massive momentum. So track your progress. Put a tick mark every time you study or follow a good habit. Each tick is proof to your brain that you're winning hour by hour. Write small notes in a diary. Finished 1 chapter, did 40 minutes revision, cleaned the desk. After a few days, your self-belief will rise sharply, and when belief rises, consistency becomes natural. The next mindset shift is be proud of your discipline. Many people treat consistency like punishment. They dream of breaks and cheat days. Virat Kohli once said his discipline felt hard too. When he changed everything at once, the first 2 months were brutal. He felt hungry at night and mentally exhausted. But when he saw the difference on the field, he realized something. Discipline wasn't punishment, it was the path to his dreams. Now, when friends say, skip 1 day, what difference does it make? He refuses, because even 1 cheat makes him fall in his own eyes. For him, discipline equals freedom. It allows him to become the player he wants to be. You need the same identity. Don't say, I have to be disciplined. Say, discipline is who I am. When you push yourself, feel proud. This isn't suffering, it's freedom. It's you shaping your future. So let's quickly recap. Replace intensity with strategy. Don't create emotional 14-hour plans. Build smart routines. Divide your day into 4 quarters and recover fast. Reduce expectations to 0 and focus on daily action. Remember, starting is winning. Shrink targets and restart often. See discomfort as learning. Focus on small wins to build momentum. And finally, be proud of your discipline. Make it your identity. Because at the end of the day, consistency isn't about motivation. It's about mindset. It's about showing up when nobody is watching. It's about choosing progress over excuses every single day. If you master these shifts, you won't just work harder, you'll become unstoppable. Improve your focus, fight your distractions, and keep moving. I'll keep bringing you lessons that make you sharper and stronger. Courage, action, awareness, and remember, we will win.